Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Alright, today we're talking about Mercury Retrograde in Scorpio. And that'll be November 2024. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me in the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. If you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Okay, so Mercury's going retrograde in the sign of Scorpio. This is going to be from, let's see here, November 26th through December 15th. And Sun and Mercury are going to meet, having an exact conjunction on December 5th. Okay. Now, first off, how does a Mercury retrograde work? Well, Mercury, its retrograde's not like other planets. It doesn't affect the previous house. Mercury is focused on the house it's transiting in. Now, usually, we don't worry about Mercury. Mercury is a benefic planet and has a light effect. Venus, same thing. Moon, outside of the nakshatra it's transiting in, generally don't pay any mind to unless it's a new or full moon. But when a planet goes retrograde, its effect intensifies. Now, other retrogrades are going to affect the previous house, bringing the energy of the house it's transiting in and implementing that in the previous house. But Mercury retrograde's different. Mercury says you have a problem in your life. Something is fucked up and you need to fix it. That's what Mercury's here to do. Mercury's here to give you the answers you need. Now, of course, most people know these other effects of Mercury retrograde, but for those that don't, I'll go ahead and talk about them. When Mercury is retrograde, technology will go on the fritz. It will mess up. There will be technology issues, communication issues, travel issues. These will be very common. And that'll last while, the duration of Mercury's retrograde. Also paperwork issues as well, because Mercury is the accountant. Now, why is Mercury meeting the Sun so important? Well, Sun is the king. Mercury is the prince, but Mercury is also the messenger. Think about it like Greek mythology. Hermes. Or Roman mythology, Mercury. So, when Mercury goes retrograde, it's heading back towards the king to get the message. And that message is delivered to you. Meaning, you are getting the solution you need for the problem that you have in your life based on where Mercury is transiting, which will be in Scorpio. So, we're going to talk about that for each zodiac sign. Now, these are your Vedic Sidereal placements, not your Western Tropical. If you don't know your Vedic Sidereal placements, you can look them up on a free birth chart calculator online or get a much more detailed birth chart from my website. Okay. Well, also, I look at transits from your Ascendant, from your Moon, and from your Sun. Ascendant is your overall path in life. And of course, I mean the Ascendant in your birth chart. Now, I also look from the Moon, because Moon is your mind and your emotions. You have to read transits from the Moon. Also, the Sun. Now, why the Sun? Well, Sun is your soul. It's what your soul's experiencing in this reality, in this world. So we have to look at transits from the Sun as well. So be sure to check all three of these placements. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so Aries, starting with you like always. So, Aries, for you, Mercury retrograde is taking place in the 8th house in Scorpio. Now, when the planets retrograde, it focuses on that house. Other planets retrograde will focus on the previous house, but not Mercury. Mercury saying, you have a problem. I want to help you fix it. So, 8th house is your in-laws. It's joint finances and relationships and business. It's other people's money. It's sex. It's death, wills, inheritance, estates, legacies. It's taxes. 8th house is the occult. It's research. It's psychological baggage. It's surgeries. It's sun-ups and downs and transformations. So, you have a problem tied to these house themes. Maybe you have something going on with your in-laws. That's, they're a pain in your neck. Maybe you get a solution. Maybe you're having an issue with your joint finances and your relationship or your marriage. Well, Mercury's helping you out. Maybe you have an issue with taxes. Mercury is trying to give you the help that you need. But that solution will come when Mercury meets the Sun. And if you don't know that date, go back to the beginning of the video. Okay. Moving on to Taurus. Taurus, for you, Mercury retrograde is happening in the 7th house. So, when Mercury's retrograde, it's going to affect the house that it's transiting in. Other retrogrades will affect the previous house, but not Mercury. Now, Mercury's showing there's a problem, and it needs to be fixed. Now, for you, this is the 7th house of Scorpio. So, 7th house is relationships, marriage, business partner. It's the masses, all of the people you meet out in the world. It's 10th from the 10th, so it's the higher form of your status, your reputation, your career. It's 4th from the 4th, so it's the higher form of your comfort and your happiness. So now Mercury's trying to help you with all this. Now, for most people, this is probably a relationship issue. But this could also be business for those of you that are in business. This could just be your relationship with other people that you meet out in the world. How your reputation is. But your solution will be found when Mercury meets the Sun. Okay. That's what I have for you, Taurus. Moving on to Gemini. Gemini. So, Mercury is retrograde in your 6th house. Now, unlike other retrogrades, which affect the previous house, Mercury is going to affect the house it transits in, even though it's retrograde. So, 6th house. You have a problem here, and Mercury is trying to help you fix it. 6th house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your pets. It's your coworkers. It's your enemies. 6th house is debt. 6th house is health issues and accidents. It's your everyday work, everyday routines. It's obstacles. It's competition, conflict. It's legal disputes. So, you have a problem here. Maybe you're having a problem with your maternal aunts or uncles. Mercury is trying to help you fix that. Maybe you're having problems at work. Maybe you're having trouble defeating your enemy. Mercury is trying to help you. Also, 6th house can be tied to legal disputes. Maybe there's an issue with paperwork. Because Mercury, when it's retrograde, there will be issues with paperwork. Maybe you find your solution to that when Mercury meets the Sun. That is when a solution will be found to the problems that you're dealing with. Maybe it's a health issue. Well, maybe that health issue either gets resolved, or maybe that's the day that you see a doctor and learn what's going on. Maybe that's when you get your diagnosis. These are the kinds of things that can be seen with this. But alright, that's what I have for you, Gemini. Moving on to Cancer. Cancer. So, Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio, your 5th house. Now, other planets, when they're retrograde, they will affect the previous house, but not Mercury. Mercury is going to affect the 5th house. So, Mercury is showing there's a problem tied to your 5th house. 5th house is romance, fun and games. It's children, students, subordinates. It's education. It's politics. It's speculative gains through stock market, through gambling, through business. It's creativity, art, sports. So, you have a problem tied to this house. Maybe there's an issue with your education. Maybe you take your exams when Mercury meets the Sun. When they have the exact conjunction. Maybe you find out there's an issue with your children. And you get that solution when Mercury meets the Sun. Same thing in romance. If you're having issues in romance, when Mercury meets the Sun is when you have a chance at getting a solution. Okay. That's what I have for you though, Cancer. Pretty simple. Moving on to Leo. Leo. So, Mercury is retrograde in your 4th house of Scorpio. Now, Mercury, when it's retrograde, will affect the house it's in. Other retrograde planets will affect the previous house. But Mercury is showing no. You have a problem with this house, and I'm trying to point it out to you. I'm trying to help you. So, 4th house is mother figures. It's home, land, real estate. It's your comfort and your happiness. And it's vehicles. So, you have an issue here. Maybe there's something going on with your mother. Maybe there's something going on with your home, your car. Maybe you're just having trouble finding comfort in life. Mercury will give you the solution when it meets the Sun. At that exact conjunction. Okay. Pretty simple though. Moving on to Virgo. Virgo. So, Mercury's retrograde in your 3rd house in Scorpio. Well, when Mercury's retrograde, it will affect the house it's in. Other planets, when they are retrograde, they will affect the previous house. But Mercury is affecting the 3rd house of Scorpio. And Mercury is showing there's a problem here. And I am trying to help you fix it. So, 3rd house is your younger siblings, your cousins, your neighbors. It's social media, the internet. It's arts, it's sports. It's communication of all kinds, including writing. It's marketing and sales. It's your skills. It's 8th from the 8th. So it's a higher form of sun-ups and downs and transformation. Because the 3rd house is the house of self-effort. Transformation through self-effort. Now, 3rd house is also travel. Mainly short distance. Short distance. But it can even be foreign travel. Because it's 12th from the 4th house. Furthest place away from your homeland. So, Mercury's showing there's a problem here. So with this, you can definitely see communication issues, travel issues can definitely be there for Virgo. Virgo people. But that solution will be found when Mercury meets the Sun. Maybe you're learning a new skill and you're struggling with it. But on the day when Mercury meets the Sun, everything seems to click. It works. Now, there could be something going on with your younger sibling. But that solution will be found when Mercury meets the Sun. Okay. That's what I have for you, Virgo. Moving on to Libra. Libra. So, Mercury's retrograde in your second house in Scorpio. Now, other planets, when they're retrograde, they will affect the previous house, but not Mercury. Mercury is going to affect the house it's transiting in. Now, the reason is because Mercury is showing you there's a problem here, and I am trying to help you fix it. So, second house is your family. It's your earnings, your savings, your bank account. It's your possessions. It's what you value. It's your teeth, your face in general. It's speech. So here, you should definitely be careful with what you say. Remember, Mercury's communication. It's retrograde now. Communication goes out of whack. You'll think you're saying the right thing. You might not be. Because of that Mercury retrograde. Question yourself before you speak with this. But there can be an issue with finances, an issue with your bank account. Be very careful with that. You'll get your solution though when Mercury and Sun are in exact conjunction. That is the day that you will get your solution. Same thing if you're having issues with your family. That's when you'll get your solution. If you're having eye problems, you need to see an optometrist. Or teeth issues, you need to see a dentist. Or ear issues, which can't remember the name for that doctor. But you will get your solution when Mercury meets the Sun. Okay. That's what I have for you, Libra. Moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio. So, Mercury is retrograde in your first house. Well, when other planets are retrograde, they affect the previous house. But Mercury is different. Mercury is showing you there is a problem tied to this house. So, Scorpio is your first house. First house is you, your physical body, your health, it's your personality. So Mercury is showing there's an issue with you. Now, for most people, that's probably going to be health issues. Maybe, you have some health problem going on. You see a doctor when Mercury meets the Sun. You get your solution. Maybe you need to change something with your diet. Maybe you're struggling to get in better shape. To lose weight. Trying to gain weight. But this is mostly going to be about your health for most people. Now for some people, I don't know. Maybe they realize that there's something wrong with their personality. Maybe they want to be a better them. And when Mercury meets the Sun, that's when they're able to do that. Or at least take the first step. Okay. That's what I have for you, Scorpio. Moving on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. So, Mercury is retrograde in your 12th house in Scorpio. Now, other planets, when they're retrograde, they will affect the previous house, but not Mercury. Mercury is trying to show you there's a problem with the house it's transiting in. So, 12th house is bed pleasure, sex and sleep. It's isolation, anywhere you feel isolated, jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. It's losses of all kinds, including financial. It's investing, because when you invest money, you're temporarily losing money. It's donating. It's foreign people, foreign places. It's multinational companies. It's spirituality. So, Mercury is showing there's a problem here. Well, maybe there's some financial losses that you're dealing with. Mercury is trying to give you the solution to fix that issue. Maybe you're having issues with travel, trying to go to a foreign place. Mercury, when it meets the sun, you will get that solution. And when Mercury is retrograde, there will definitely be travel issues. Maybe there's an issue with your plane ticket, with your passport. Maybe there's flight delays. Maybe you're trying to progress spiritually, but you're struggling. Well, maybe you learned something new that allows you to progress when Mercury meets the sun. This is when you will get your solution to these problems. Okay, that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Moving on to Capricorn. Alright, Capricorn, 1 second. I need a drink. Okay. Alright, Capricorn. So, Mercury is retrograde in your 11th house, in the sign of Scorpio. So, other planets, when they're retrograde, they will affect the previous house. But Mercury affects the house it's in. Because Mercury is trying to show you there is a problem with this house, and I am trying to help you fix it. So 11th house is your elder siblings. It's your paternal aunts and uncles. It's your friends, your network circle. Large organizations, large gatherings, parties. It's stock market, it's gains. It's your hopes, wishes, and desires. So, Mercury is showing there's a problem here. Maybe you find out there's a problem with your stocks. And you get your solution when Mercury meets the sun. Maybe you're having conflict with your older siblings, with your friends, with your paternal aunts and uncles. That solution will come when Mercury meets the sun. Maybe you're trying to fulfill a desire of yours. Your chance to do that will be when Mercury meets the sun. On that exact day. Or if it happens like late at night, the next day. So within a day or two. Okay. I'm nitpicking. Alright, that's what I have for you, Capricorn. Moving on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. So, Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio, your 10th house. Now, other planets, when they're retrograde, they will affect the previous house, but not Mercury. Mercury is showing that there is a problem in the house it's transiting, and it is trying to help you. So, 10th house is your career. It's your status, your fame. It's your workplace, your managers, your bosses. It's government, especially national government. 10th house is your karmic actions that the world notices. It's the house of highest karma. So even if you're retired, 10th house is still important. Now, Mercury is showing there's an issue here. Maybe there was some paperwork that was misfiled at work. Mercury retrograde can definitely show paperwork issues. Because Mercury's the accountant. Maybe there's some issue with you trying to get a job. But your solution will come when Mercury meets the sun. Maybe there's some issue with your reputation. You're struggling to achieve some fame in this world. Your solution will come when Mercury meets the sun. If that's your karma. But your career issues, your karmic actions that you need to take, whatever issue you're dealing with tied to this 10th house, when Mercury meets the sun is when you will get the solution you need to act upon. Okay. That's what I have for you, Aquarius. Moving on to Pisces. Alright, Pisces. So, Mercury is retrograde in your 9th house. Now, when other planets are retrograde, they will behave like they're in the previous house, but not Mercury. Mercury is showing there's a problem with your 9th house, the sign of Scorpio, and I am trying to help you fix it. So, 9th house is your father figures. It's your mentors, teachers, gurus. It's religion, philosophy, the law. It's higher education beyond like a bachelor's degree. It's publishing. It's long distance travel, pilgrimage. It's higher education beyond like a bachelor's degree. I think I'm repeating myself. But it is education beyond typical schooling. I think I'm repeating myself, but then again, I do a lot of these videos. Okay. Now, 9th house is also your luck and your fortune. So, with Mercury retrograde here, you have an issue tied to these houses. Maybe your relationship with your father hasn't been good. Mercury is trying to give you the solution. When Mercury meets the Sun, an exact conjunction by degree, is when you will get your solution. Maybe you're having an issue with your education. When Mercury meets the Sun, it's when you will get that solution. Maybe you're trying to publish something. Publish an article. When Mercury meets the Sun is when that solution can take place. And when Mercury is retrograde, there will definitely be paperwork issues. Travel issues. So, if you're having issues with traveling, maybe flight delays, issue with your passport, your train pass, whatever, when Mercury meets the Sun is when you will get that solution. Alright, but yeah, that's what I have for all of you. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out me and the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, links to those will be in the description box as well. But yeah, best of luck, everybody, in this Mercury retrograde. Yeah, shouldn't be too bad. Just be careful with communication, paperwork, and travel. And technology. The usual. Alright. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.